All right, today we got how Ice Spice lost 83% of her audience. What happened to Ice Spice? I feel like as of late, we haven't really heard much of her. I mean, last time I feel like I was talking about Ice Spice, it was because she had lost all her cheeks. The ice had melted type shit, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys tap into the Twitch streams. The link to that will be in the description. That's Whereyouatberto. You guys know where to find me. Let's get right into the video.
Where you at, Berto?
I made this shit look sweet.
Ice Spice done lost 83% of her audience in the past year, and I mean, we can look at the numbers. Her last project did 28K first week. She turns around, drops a deluxe, and that did 4,800 first week, not to mention all the other controversy she done been into. One point, she getting booed off stage, and this wasn't like a long time ago. This was the beginning of this year. We seen Ice Spice get booed off stage. She come out, she do a little bad performance. People wasn't having it. Ice Spice really is one of the most interesting characters in hip hop. We done seen her in so many different problems and issues with different people over the years, whether it was her little situation with Drake or getting full on exposed by a quote unquote former friend of hers. So with Ice Spice, we have one of the fastest rises in rap in modern day hip hop. But was the longevity there? That's a question we kind of seen getting answered with time, from the sales decreasing to the internet just being mad at her. I mean, this song we don't.
I feel like with Ice Spice, the longevity obviously isn't there, but what you guys do have to give her some credit for, whether you like her or not, is the heights that she reached in her career are so above like the average artist. I feel like she's gonna be set forever, you know what I mean? I don't think she's going broke anytime soon. Like, she had some really big songs.
I've seen happen time and time again. Prime example, back in 2022, early show, she getting backlash. She would come out, she would do this show, and people wasn't messing with it. So many people wasn't messing with it that XXL would write a whole article just talking about this performance and the backlash she got. They would say this.
Anybody else tired of this nigga just yelling in your ear, bro? Damn, nigga. This video is 23 minutes of him just straight yelling. I'm gonna have to turn his goddamn volume down. Anyways.
Ice Spice is arguably one of the hottest newcomers in the rap game, but her less than stellar performance at 2022 Rolling Loud New York has garnered mixed reactions from fans. Rest in peace, Rolling Loud New York. You are missed. On Friday, September 23rd, Ice Spice made a surprise cameo appearance during 5-Yo Foreign set at the Rolling Loud 22 New York. The 22-year-old rap newbie performed her viral track Munch to the crowd's delight. However, some people on social media were highly critical of Ice Spice's lackluster performance, and it was a big conversation at this time about Ice Spice and her whole career. But like I said, Ice Spice's career been full of controversy and antics, and the antics surrounding Ice Spice has been real bad. Been there really since her time early into the music space. Ice Spice's whole brand was built around antics. You know, you think of 6ix9ine, what was his antic? Oh man, nigga, I beef with everybody. I'ma say what I want, I don't care. Ice Spice's antic was shaking ass, and people love her.
Hey man, you know how niggas gonna get. That shit start jiggling a certain way, that certain cheek to gravitational pull ratio, motherfuckers gonna get hypnotized.
Whole image
not me though, that's y'all niggas, all right? I'm talking to you. Let's be honest. You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
And this sex appeal thing also came with its bad peers. So at the same time, we seeing all this talk about Ice Spice not necessarily being about the music, but more her as a personality. Problems would start this show. Y'all know we in this fast food era of music. There's really no going around it. I could make a whole video talking about the type of music era we in right now. And you know, a lot of this modern day music ain't really bad, just a good bit of it lacks substance. But this is a conversation you done probably heard play over and over again throughout the years, and it also has something to do with how accessible music has become. You know, back in the day, niggas gotta go through hoops to, you know what I mean, get in the studio. If you broke, you wasn't able to really record no music. You can't afford the studio, but now niggas.
Yeah, now niggas are just straight up making music on their fucking phones. I've been seeing. Y'all heard about that BandLab app? I think that's what it's called. Like, you literally can download that app on your phone. I don't think it might even be free, but I know it's not that expensive. And people are making hit songs with millions and millions and millions of streams and views using their goddamn Apple headphones, bro. Like, if you trying to be an artist, you watching this video right now, I'm not gonna lie, there's no excuse. Like, you don't need all that extra high quality equipment to do nothing nowadays.
You can make a hit song on your phone. You make a hit song, post it on TikTok, you going viral. You got you a hit song on the way. And that factor alone, you know, it came with its pros and cons. On one hand, you know, a lot more people are able to do what they love. A lot more people is out here actually being able to make music.
I got it locked back in with TikTok, bro. Like, I resent the app so much because I was popular on there at one point, page with like 3 million followers, 10 million views a month, like just going dumb. But I was doing a lot of shit that I didn't really care about, you know what I mean? I felt like TikTok is a place where it's easy to get sucked into kind of making content just for the views rather than making content that you're passionate about. But one thing is for sure, no matter how you look at it, no matter if you're not getting millions and millions of views, it's such a viral platform. Like, and I'll tell y'all this is really for my content creators, man. When you post something and it only gets a few hundred views, I know it's easy to kind of just sit back and be like, damn, this shit flop. It only got 100 views. But like, remember, that's still 100 people, bro. You know what I'm saying? If I walk into your room with 100 people, you'd be mad as fuck. You'd be like, oh shit. Like, bro, I can't even goddamn move in this bitch. That's a lot of people.
You can gain attention from it, but at that same time, with it being so accessible, a lot of people don't be giving a fuck. They're like, man, nigga, I can make this shit for free. It's gonna take me 20 minutes. So I'm gonna get on here, I'm gonna say what I want on this nice beat. Most of the time, you know, a lot of these producers do be caring, if we gonna be honest, but that's probably how niggas was feeling. And Ice Spice kind of fell into that trap. The overall landscape of her career was, I look good and I make this real mediocre lullaby type music. And so not only was she not talking about anything, not only was the music not really there, it was kind of a recipe for disaster. Well, not kind of, it was a recipe for disaster. She became more known as a personality than this rapper. And time again, we done seen that play out real bad. But throughout the time of her being in all of these antics, of course, someone else would come into the picture at one point. I mean, it kind of set a pattern for these strange problems in the future. So Ice Spice, she in the industry, she looked good. Of course, rappers gonna start gravitating toward Ice Spice. One of these rappers so happened to be Lil Tjay. And at one point, they had that little thing going on. I don't know if they was dating. I don't know if they were just, you know what I mean, getting it in. I don't know what they had going on, but they had something. And it was a conversation, and people were paying attention to it. And they was working together. I mean, at one point, you know, they shooting music videos, they doing songs, and just so happens that Lil Tjay pulling up to one of him and Ice Spice music video shoots, the man got arrested. Article write this: NYPD arrested Lil Tjay in the Bronx, and now the rapper's in police custody for an alleged weapons violation. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ that Tjay was arrested following a traffic stop in the Bronx on his way to film with Ice Spice. We told officers found a handgun in the vehicle, so they arrested him. But that wasn't the end of Tjay problems with Ice Spice. Well, that wasn't necessarily a problem with Ice Spice. It just had something to do with her. But where a problem with Tjay and Ice Spice will come up was, remember how I said Ice Spice quote unquote friend was exposing her? Well, Tjay got brought up during this time period.
So in this part of the story, there was 3 people involved. It was Cleo Trapper, Baby Storm, and Ice Spice. Now, Baby Storm and Ice Spice had
Finally, this nigga changed his goddamn tone up. Bro was just yelling the whole video. I know his fucking voice box hurt.
been quote unquote best friends for a long time. They were, you know, real close. Right along the time period where Cleo Trapper was going in on Ice Spice, we would have Baby Storm really adding on top of everything else.
Basically, she was accusing Ice Spice of
he's
dating
back.
Tjay. She was like, nigga, you was dating Tjay, but at the same time, you was dating Riot, who is one of, if not the most important part of
So this nigga went and got the gingerbread curl cut too as well.
Ice Spice career. If Riot wasn't here, Ice Spice.
Imagine everybody that works for Ice Spice just had to have their hair like that. That would be funny, right? You just walk into an office and everybody's hair is just fucking the gingerbread curls.
Wouldn't be here. That nigga was the producer that made everything for her, basically. So this friend is like, you know, you was dating Riot, but you over here messing around with Lil Tjay. You doing this with Tjay, but you got this nigga at home. And this best friend would expose this to the internet. But not only would she expose this to the internet, she would text this nigga phone and then post the messages online. She would text Riot and say, Ice Spice cheated on you with Tjay in 2022 and lied to your face about it. Then she had the audacity to sing about it on Gangsta Boo, the song that you produced. Go ask her about it. She was in love with him for almost a year. I'm sorry. It happened the night she slept in TJ's bed while you were in the house. Now, wait. I don't think, bro, there's no way these two could have actually been dating, because what do you mean? This nigga Riot was at the house with Ice Spice and TJ, and he let Ice Spice go and sleep in the bed with another nigga. and then he let her diss him on his own beat. There's no way that's actually what went down. And if it was, if that's really what happened, that Riot nigga got some problems. Because what you mean? She slept in the bed with a nigga while you was there and that's your girl. You know, that's a whole nother conversation. We ain't about to get in.
Ain't no fucking way, boy. Ain't no fucking way. Hey, I could never be me.
That. But look, before I keep going on, make sure you tap in with me on Instagram at GetLikePrince. I just dropped Ice Spice. This friend would, you know, describe and explain herself as to why she fell out with Ice Spice and why she's exposing her. She was saying that Ice Spice was real entitled. And the whole time that these two were on tour together, well, when she was with Ice Spice on tour, she was getting mistreated. And, you know, she was getting treated bad. Ice Spice was, you know what I mean? The vibe will write this. Ice Spice and her friend Cleo Trapper shared their disdain toward one another on social media, both accusing the other of unsavory behavior. The back and forth started when Cleo Trapper detailed her experience on the Y2K.
Something that I feel like I briefly remember when this girl was like, quote unquote, exposing Ice Spice. Like, look, Ice Spice could be a piece of shit. She could be an asshole and kind of treat Cleopatra like shit. But one thing from my experience back in the when I was doing music and, you know, and I was popping out on bigger artists' shows and performing and, you know, opening up for other artists, like, it's an opportunity at the end of the day. Like, you're not the star. So while it's always nice that certain people gonna treat you with respect, you can't expect to be like a no-name artist and pop out on a Ice Spice show, like whether you love her or not. She was a big artist at the time, and think you're gonna get the same, like, I don't know, the same standard of appreciation from everybody. Like, you're not the star. This is an opportunity, motherfucker. You could be sleeping in a goddamn garbage can before the show starts. Like, it is what it is. You're not getting paid to perform. It's not your show. So if, you know, again, if I remember correctly, I feel like Cleo Trapper, whatever the fuck, she came off a little ungrateful in my opinion, but, you know, that's not to say that Ice Spice didn't genuinely hurt her feelings, though. That I can't account for.
Tour on TikTok. In multiple videos, she described Ice Spice as calculated and said she was only invited to this tour to clean up Ice Spice's image after her text messages disparaging Nicki Minaj was leaked. Cleopatra would say, because we never chilled on like some chill stuff. It was all...
Again, chill on some chill stuff. Like, it's just business at the end of the day. Like, if maybe she just wanted to give you an opportunity to tour. Like, we're not friends, though.
Always in the blogs the next day in the song dropping. You actually have one time to show me that you jealous, intimidated, untrustworthy, fake, disloyal, a whole bunch of other words. And Cleo Trapper claims she was only given a day to prepare for the tour, but was not included in the official tour promo.
See, it's when I hear shit like that, that's what makes me, it's like, girl, what the fuck do you want? Who cares if you were included in the promo or not? Would it have been nice? Yes. But you're not the star. This is just an opportunity. You either take the opportunity or you don't. You were only given a... That's like saying... That's like getting mad at Drake. Imagine if Drake called you... Like, obviously, if you were an artist in this hypothetical. Imagine you're an up-and-coming artist and you just want an opportunity and Drake called your phone right now and say, hey, bro, I want you to perform at the goddamn Times Square with me tonight. Matter of fact, yeah, I want you to perform at Times Square with me tonight. You only got 3 hours to get ready. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you might be in a rush. Maybe you didn't have much time to prepare, but you either gonna say yes or no. And what's all the complaint is? It's an opportunity. But anyway.
And she felt she was mistreated by Ice Spice. Her allegations also include being forced to change in bathrooms, coming out of pocket for hotel rooms, and not being paid.
Well, you thought not being paid? You thought he was gonna get paid? See, I'm trying to tell you, ungrateful, bro. Again, I'm not defending Ice Spice. I'm just more pointing out the fact that it's like, I don't know what Shorty expected. I can't name one Cleo Trapper song. I don't even know who that is. You know what I'm saying? Who's paying you? Why would they be paying you? What do you bring to the table?
Her soul it doesn't belong to the person above. Some people are lucky.
Damn.
And we're gonna call it luck. We're not gonna call it her being blessed, because I don't think the Lord will bless somebody like her. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cleo. So y'all know me. I've always been vocal about everything, about literally everything. Nobody can shut me up. Nobody can silence me. Like, was you silent or was you silent? Okay, and nobody's gonna do that to me. This video isn't to bash anyone. This is for me to speak on my experience and what I went through. And I want my fans to learn from this. My fans, my followers, my supporters, my future fans, followers, supporters. You don't even have to like me. I want y'all to literally take this situation that I'm about to break down to y'all and be inspired by it. And understand that no matter what the opportunity is, nobody should make you feel less than or make you feel like shit because they gave you an opportunity.
I mean, that's true. I can agree with that. Again, I'm not defending if whether Ice Spice was an asshole or not, but I also am trying to give y'all the bigger picture. You can what do they say? What's the saying? If motherfucker give you lemons, you could either be like, this bitch is just fucking up some lemons, or you can make lemonade. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that is the mentality that I choose to approach life with. So if I'm sitting in her position, sure, maybe with my close friends, I might talk some shit and complain about how I didn't like how this and that went down. But at the end of the day, like, you're a nobody and Ice Spice is a somebody. She brings you on tour. I don't know why you expect 5-star luxury treatment. The only thing that you should be concerned with is putting on an amazing performance for this opportunity, so maybe you could steal some of her fans potentially and add to your fan base and your growth as an artist. Again, this is really just sounding like some emotional female shit. I'm not gonna lie. Respect to my ladies, but you're focusing on the wrong shit.
It does not matter.
But maybe she thought she'd have a bigger moment by, exposing Ice Spice. Well, she did, you know what I'm saying? She went viral, and I hope that helped her music career. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't.
It does not give an open way for somebody to try to humiliate you or try to make you feel less than. And as a black woman, a confident one who knows exactly who she is and exactly what she wants in this world, people are so intimidated by it. And it's either you're intimidated and scared of it, or you love it and you just love it. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I was around somebody who was clearly intimidated by me, and just who I am as a person. So that,
again, I'm not there, but why would she be intimidated by you?
ending of July, I get a call from Ice very early in the morning. Cleo, come on tour with me. I miss you. Come. And I'm just like, girl, I'm not about to come on tour with you and watch you perform all month. Like, I got a nigga. I got stuff that I could be doing. I could be getting money. I have opportunities in New York. I have brand deals. I have things that I need to focus on. So for me to travel all over the United States with you to watch you perform kind of crazy. She's like, no, I want you to perform. And I gagged. You want me to perform? She ain't never, ever brought me out on stage. I was like, oh, wait. Okay. Like, I guess this girl, in my head, this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, I guess she's really trying to make up for that fake shit that got exposed, like, a month ago. Like,
damn, that's so negative though. That's the first thing that came to your mind. Like, again, I'm looking at an opportunity, bump everything else. Like, I'm as an artist, I'm trying to perform. Let's go. Yeah, hell yeah.
really trying to, be a actual friend, because that shit was weird as fuck. And I checked her about that shit, and even for her to apologize was like pulling teeth. Like, girl, you got caught calling your friend jealous for no fucking reason. And her excuse was that I didn't speak up when I was asked if she was Nigerian. Like, girl, I met you a month before that video. I didn't even know you was Nigerian.
So she doing all this, exposing it, and she would go on and on dragging Ice Spice. And around the same time, baby Storme get on Twitter and say this. The only reason I'm saying this now is because I thought Ice Spice was a real friend. I've known her since we were 13. We went to the same grade school and high school together. She was my high school bully, but I forgave her because she apologized for bullying me. She only tried to
Ice Spice was bullying motherfuckers, giving niggas wedgies and nuggies.
rekindle with me when I started doing music and got some motion. She used my connections and my resources to make her way to the top and pretended to be my friend. She forced everyone in her life to sign it.
You know what, I feel like I have a good perspective on shit like this because, I've been in a situation where I feel used multiple times. I've helped people, but something that you guys also have to realize is people are always going to do what's in their best interest. And when you can sit there and say, she used my resources, she used my connections, and at some point you got to do some self-reflection. It's like, those were your resources, those were your connections. Why weren't you able to make the best out of them? But then this person comes into the situation and they can. You know what I'm saying? I think it's easy to just feel like, damn, they used me. And if you're honest with yourself, there's a little bit of jealousy there because you're watching somebody else have success with the tools that you have access to. You know what I'm saying? But again, I think the better approach is to focus and be like, okay, those were my resources, those were my tools, those were my, my connections. Like, how can I make them work for me? Because clearly they can work. That's where my mind goes to.
NDA included me, but the only person I'm signed to is God, so I will speak the truth. She would say, Ice Spice did everything in her power to make sure my career would never take off. She did everything you could possibly think of and more, but I'm not afraid of her anymore. This is the truth. But the thing about this friend, the internet kind of felt like she was crazy because before the whole Ice Spice exposing situation, she would be online making weird ass TikToks. I mean, just listen.
Donald Trump is going to be assassinated this year.
Yeah, I'm not listening to anything this girl says. What?
Before the upcoming 2024 election.
Yeah. Eye piercing, nose piercing, both sides. I mean, goddamn. Bitch look like the female Lil Uzi Vert.
His death is what is ultimately going to cause a civil war in the United States. If you want to know what the Civil War will look like, go to any movie theater and just watch the movie Civil War. That is exactly what will happen in the United States.
Are you telling the future now? Yeah, shut the fuck up.
It is not just a movie. That will happen exactly how you see it in the movie theaters.
Oh.
And I'm not gonna lie, she was low-key shit posting, like crazy posting, just yapping. She really wasn't wrong about that assassination thing. Because keep in mind, nigga, this TikTok was posted before July of 2024. And you know what happened in that month? That failed attempt against Trump. I'm bullshitting.
What?
But this,
you bullshitting. Okay, I was about to take back everything I said.
this wasn't like a one-time thing with her. A lot of her posts was her, talking like this. And so when people dug into her TikToks and dug into the things she said, a lot of what she said, a lot of what people heard from her would go in one ear and out the other. But back to Riot. Now, Riot was the main component of Ice Spice's career, a producer who was with her from the beginning. This man done basically produced every single big song you ever heard from Ice Spice. Every hit, he had a part. He writing, he doing the beat, he doing this, they working together. They actually said we'll write this on Riot. Riot USA has reached the A-list beatmaker status in 2023. As the mastermind from a vast majority of songs from Ice Spice in April, Riot and Ice Spice song cracked the top 5 on Billboard Hot 100s for the first time with Princess Diana, along with Nicki Minaj debuting at number 4 after landing a global publishing deal with Warner Chappell Music back in June. Riot done earned Producer of the Year from BMI R&B Hip Hop Awards over the summer. Now Riot USA closes out his breakthrough year with hopes of taking home a Grammy for Best Rap Song in 2024 with Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj, Barbie Song. So he came up with Ice Spice. Then the whole Lil Tjay situation happened, and there wasn't like a true public fallout between the two. But Riot really used that momentum he got from being with Ice Spice and working with Ice Spice to kind of trying to create his own rap career. Just the other day, he on stream with Platboy Max rapping. He wasn't making beats. He was rapping, but he's still locked in. I mean, this nigga, not only was he on stream with Platboy Max, not only has he been making his music, this nigga was giving beats to speed out of everybody. But past that Riot situation, the beef with Ice Spice's friend, wasn't the only big beef she was gonna face. Another one was her and Latto. Now, these two would be on a borderline war
Big
with
Latto.
fan bases. So Latto and Nicki, they beefing, right? If you watch my vid back on Nicki, she doesn't beef with everybody. So Latto and Nicki got their problem. And for a long period of time, Ice Spice and Nicki was always together. They had the Barbie song together. They pushing each other music. You see them together a lot. And Latto beefing with Nicki had to create some tension with her and Ice Spice. And slowly, with time, this beef started brewing. It started cooking up. And people was speculating on if Ice Spice was dropping a line on Latto or if Latto was dropping a line on Ice Spice. It was a lot going on. And people was wondering if this was gonna be a full-on rap war between these two female artists, Or was it just gonna stay on social media? Was it just gonna be a couple shots, you know, talking a little bit of shit?
Okay, yeah, Latto also posted this picture. You can see Ice Spice, like, you know, she's like sitting right by the Ice Spice thing. Is this, ain't this Ruby Rose? So I think her thing is like, oh no, I wasn't dissing anyone. It's like, yo, she's trying to say, if the shoe fits, wear it. But you could tell she's trying to antagonize Ice Spice. Like, you have her in the back of your snippet. You're taking a picture by her face when there's a bunch of women faces there, right? You're trying to make sure people know it's Ice Spice.
Being in the back in that video, was that direct hit?
Yeah, you came right to it. I did not do that on purpose.
Right.
Okay. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and she took it like you did it on purpose.
okay, well then let's do it then. Like, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. I swear to God, like, it wasn't like that. Mind you, I'm in Houston having a ball, leaving the club drunk as fuck. I'm like,
Stop the cap.
let me make a
I need to update my soundboard, bro.
little TikTok to this song I like.
She goes on live to explain it a little bit more.
Let me tell you something. I did the interview solely for the purpose, so I didn't have to like do shit like this, get on live, get on Twitter, and I'm just recording a TikTok. Shit don't be that deep. And on my mother, if I did see that video behind me, I still would have proceeded. Y'all need to stop this. Oh, she's lying. She's her hand, and the rocks in her hand.
I think you could out-rap Ice Spice. I think Ice Spice is not here to rap battle. I think she knows how to maneuver this industry, and she realizes one important thing. It's about likability, not talent these days. So, you know, even going back to the whole Nicki Minaj thing, you know why? By the way, to me, Meg lost the battle, but she lost the battle and won the PR war. Nicki came off so nasty, so ugly. It came off, oh, I'm going at your dead mother. Like, by the way, that's all part of rap beef. So I'm not like over here like, oh my God, you should have did that.
A lot of people was like, nah, because they was feeling like Ice Spice was gonna get washed. And I mean, y'all don't.
Yeah, there's no way Ice Spice could compete with Latto in a fucking rap beef. Like, if we're just being honest, again, like, I'm not a big consumer of female music because it's just like there's really nothing to relate there. But I've heard a couple of Latto songs that are hard, like that Georgia Peach song. I ain't gonna lie, that shit's smooth.
Her Ice Spice music, y'all know how she rap, y'all know what she raps about. And when you compare her music to Latto, like, a lot of people don't be giving Latto credit, but her ass can really rap. She can really bring substance if she want to. So comparing these two and actually putting them in a rap battle against each other where they dropping diss songs is kind of not fair. And we kind of seen the future and knew who would win this battle if they were to drop, if they were to get to dissing each other. And at one point, Latto got questioned exactly on this topic. She, you know, she beefed with Ice Spice. People get to question her. She kind of said what I said. This rap battle wouldn't be fair. Ice Spice wouldn't even wrong that. This what Billboard wrote. Latto said, if I was to do a battle, it would have to be with somebody I'm gonna go tit for tat with. I really don't mean to throw shade, but why would she even want to do that? The Billboard was right between Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj, January, back and forth.
I ain't gonna lie though, if I hear this as Ice Spice, I'm getting the best songwriters on my team. Nah, I'm coming for heads, bro. You're not just gonna act like I can't rap. That's the approach I would be taking.
Quavo and Chris Brown beef, and of course the culture shifting Kendrick, Drake beef. Rap battles have been a big phenomenon across hip hop this year, but Latto and Ice Spice have been primarily concerned with sending subliminals to one another. Latto would say, I feel like she's doing it in her lane. It's two different types of vibes. I don't even think she gives me the, oh, I want to engage in the actual rap beef. Everyone gonna take their little jazz in the music, and it's not even that serious to me. I feel like you should do that. But as far as actual whole diss records to each other, I don't even think she will want to do that. I feel like, would it even make sense? But 2024 was not only filled with her getting exposed by her friend, beefing with Latto, beefing with whoever, it would also be a big situation with her and Central C. Her, Central C girlfriend, the three main players in this story. And like with Lil Tjay, there was a period of time where we seeing Central C and Ice Spice getting pushed together all the time now. Was there an actual relationship? Who knows? Ice Spice, Central C getting pushed together a lot. You seeing them always, people speculating, are y'all together? And let me know if you want a vid on him. I've been thinking about, you know, making a vid on Central C, especially with all the stuff that he done got into. And, you know, he kind of got them gang times out in the UK, and that could make a good video. But they messing around in their relationship, having all this build up, and then it led into Central C's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend at the time. They was getting into it. She seen all the little weird stuff going on with Ice Spice and Central C, and then she would get on TikTok explaining her side of the situation, explaining the situation, and this went viral.
Obviously not. You told me to stand up, so I'm standing up. Let me tell you how I did not know that any of this was gonna fucking happen. Let me take you guys back a couple months. I'm laid up in bed with Pookie, and he comes to me, and he's like, I have a new song to show, and I'm like, yes, serenade me. I'm like ready to hear some poetry.
She called him Pookie. True love.
And then he plays me his verse. I'm like, what the fuck? Not only did you just snitch on yourself that you're cheating, but you just told me exactly how. Give me your fucking phone. You telling me ZK Trappy69 with the wet emoji is not your childhood friend? He tells me it's just marketing and I know how the internet works, so I just forget about it. A while later, he tells me that he wants to hire an influencer to do like a lip syncing video to one of his older songs. And I'm like, okay, makes sense. Then he's like, I'm gonna send her a car because she asked for one. I was like, okay, makes sense. He didn't tell me he was sending her his personal car to start a dating rumor with her. I was with you guys knees deep in that comment section asking if we were.
But all of these different situations and everything else led her up to one moment, led Ice Spice up to the moment of her debut album. When people, came across the idea that Ice Spice might be dropping.
This album was absolute buns. Hence, all her talent. Now, for real, I feel like Ice Spice actually had a couple of cool little jingles that are catchy, if you're being honest. But, bro, this album was terrible.
An actual album, people question it because that music is real fast food. Like would a person really want to sit and listen to a full Ice Spice album? That was a question that was brewing online, and that was a question that we would see answered when time came for this album to drop. So honestly, leading up to this project, people wasn't really expecting this good album. They wasn't expecting nothing crazy. They was expecting 20 songs of Ice Spice. This album came out and it flopped, and it did 28K for an artist her size that had 45, probably 50 million monthly listeners at that time. That sparked up a whole conversation surrounding Ice Spice. And so now everybody, talking about Ice Spice, did she fall off or is she trash, blah, blah, blah. When all this backlash would come out, she would kind of respond really not caring. Well, I'm not going to say not caring, but her perspective, the way she looked at the situation was really in the right place. Because it wasn't like, oh, fuck y'all, my album did bad, but I don't care. She was just on some, this project did better than my last one. They said we're right. On Monday, August 5th, Ice Spice Sales came out, and it sold 28,000 copies first week. After the news surfaced online, Ice Spice typed up a response regarding her latest accomplishment. Although the multi-platinum artist expressed her gratitude about her album sales, she seemed more psyched about what she experienced during her tour. Ice Spice would say, my last project, Light, did 15K, so thank you to everyone who supported me then, and thank you to all the new supporters. Y2K World Tour has been fun, and these numbers are cool and all, but you should have seen that crowd I had last night. This a month after this, she would come out and she would drop a deluxe.
That's a way to keep positive energy.
That deluxe was it did 4,800 copies first week for an artist her size. You could ask anybody if they know Ice Spice, and they would say, you can go ask your damn grandma. You know who Ice Spice is? She's gonna say yes. So Ice Spice, her brand has reached all.
There's a lot of artists like that though. Like some artists just aren't album artists, bro. Some artists are just single artists. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Ice Spice just need to focus on singles. Now, again, I feel like every time she drop an album, which you're in the music industry, you got to drop albums at some point. But it's all, people are always going to try to clown you. But it's like, I just don't think that's what people are listening to when it comes to Ice Spice. She's a singles artist. She just need to put out really good singles
all over the world. But when it comes to the actual music, that's not there. At the same time she dropping this project, that was around the time she got booed off stage, and that caused its own controversy. And really throughout 2025, we haven't got a lot from Ice Spice. We got a little single from her in June, but it was more of a feature. It was a remix.
Really? Didn't even hear that. Damn.
But other than that, she hasn't dropped no album. She hasn't really been in no crazy big situations. We just seeing her, in a relationship or doing this or doing that. And what's next for Ice Spice is a very hard question to answer because we done seen such a big drop off already. And unless she has like an entire sound change, I don't know if Ice Spice announcing a new project or dropping new singles is gonna bring actual attention. I feel like Ice Spice might just become like a really big personality. Like, something telling me a year from now, she gonna be YouTuber. She gonna be streaming and shit. But what do y'all think about Ice Spice?
I think that link in bio is coming soon. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Ice Spice, man. At the end of the day, I do think her brand is big enough to where she can make a comeback. She just needs a good single. A good single that I think all the girls can be, you know, lip syncing to, dancing to on TikTok, kind of like they've always been when it comes to her music. I think she just needs to lock in and pop out with a good song. But even if she doesn't, I also think her career is probably, she had so much success already. She's probably going to be set for life no matter what. But anyways, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. My name's Berto. I'll see you on the next one. Tap into Twitch streams. Link in the description. That's Where You At Berto. And y'all know where to find me. Peace.
Where you at, Berto?